Got quite a speech here, so bear with me. If it appears too long at any time, I have welcomed Paul to give me the hook. So let me just start by saying that all of the bridesmaids look absolutely wonderful today. Quiet down there, Karen. You have the wife now. But of course, only one person in this room outshines them, and that is our beautiful bride, Kristen. And gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree with me that today is certainly a sad day, as another beauty leaves the available list. Not a joke. And ladies, on the flip side, I'm sure you'll agree with me that today passes without much of a ripple. Now I asked Kieran what I should say today, and his first suggestion was that I should just spend the next 5 minutes just staring blankly at you. His next suggestion, he thought a little bit, and then he said, well, perhaps you should share one of my favorite pastimes. And that pastime is that I should spend the next few minutes making fun of Kristen. And this is true. He did say this. And he also admitted that Kristen was probably going to be a little bit apprehensive about what I would say today. And probably rightly so, given his suggestions. But I figure that probably gets me a free ticket then to say just about anything that I want. But don't worry, Kristen. Despite my really wanting to, and against my better judgment, decided I'm going to keep the speech pretty tame. I'm not going to share any embarrassing stories. Not going to say anything offensive or insulting. Nothing humiliating about you. Kieran, however, you've got a long next few minutes ahead of you. But you really shouldn't feel too bad for him because we've known each other for a long time. And certainly my sense of humor has grown largely because of my interactions with Kieran. So he's really the one to blame for what you're going to hear now. So you would think that it would be pretty easy to come up with some good stories about Kieran. He's lived a pretty exciting life. I mean, certainly nothing says exciting like tax attorney. But despite this, I was having some trouble coming up with some things to say. So I turned to another one of my most trusted and wisest friends, Google. And so in my scouring of the internet, spending a couple hours, I must say I found some pretty good stuff. Then I remembered I was looking for speech ideas. Turns out that the internet was not all that helpful. There were, in fact, no speeches about a bride and groom named Kieran and Kristen getting married in Iowa. And to top that off, I also discovered that all the good material on the internet about best man speeches had already been lifted 3 years ago by Kieran at my wedding when he gave It's true. But I thought a good structure for this speech would be to give you all a little bit of history about Kieran and all that he's gone through. So we start back quite some time ago, August 10th, 1979. This is when Kieran was born, of course. He'll be celebrating his birthday tomorrow, so don't forget. And in my internet search, I was trying to find some other great worldly event that happened on this date. Maybe I could link it to that. Didn't actually find anything. But I was able to uncover that even after all these years, the Port Jefferson Hospital in New York still refers to this date as Ugly Friday. Now, the next most life-changing event in Kieran's life certainly would have probably did not happen until early in his freshman year in high school. and that, of course, was the day that he met me. So this was on a bus ride to school, our freshman year. It was a lot like sitting down next to Harry Potter, as you probably saw from the slideshow. Well, maybe not as cool as Harry Potter. But that comparison still holds true today, as you can see. Page 2. But I really didn't get to know Kieran until our college years at NC State together. And the next few things I'm going to share with you, I know Kieran may think it's probably inappropriate for me to share on his wedding day, but for the edification of everyone in this room, I really thought it would be good to give you some perspective and for me to discuss his two great loves during these years: video games and cheap food. So it was not unusual for him to wake up on a Saturday morning, get out of bed, sit down at his computer, and then put on that ever so fashionable headset of his so that he could communicate to other cool people playing video games. Sit there for a couple hours, maybe a couple days. Usually involves him trolling some alien creatures that, some other equally cool kid in another dorm room. Of course, I only know this because I was usually that other kid. Kristen, aren't you glad some things never change? Now, it was perhaps his mediocre skill at these games his only video game that made him think that he would excel at computer programming. His first major at NC State. He was in fact wrong. He did not excel in this area. It's rather fortunate then that he decided to pursue a degree in history that did not require the use of mathematics or other complex analytical abilities. And he will tell you that he only passed a physics class one year because his professor lost his final exam. Now, his other great love during college was cheap food. And as you know, cheap food available to college students is usually not that healthy, so I think we should congratulate Kieran just for still being alive and with us today. But there's one incident that in particular springs to mind with regards to his eating habits. And this was after what I would describe as a filling and delicious meal at the NC State dining hall. And at this point, he thought that maybe he should continue and have dessert. So proceeded then to stack up what must have been, 30, 50 Oreo cookies next to him, and a glass of milk, and thought that he could eat all of these. Nevertheless, he decided he would eat these in a matter of 5 minutes. So it is no surprise that a large crowd of people gathered around and watched him as he shoveled handful after handful of Oreo cookies into his mouth. This was truly disgusting. I mean, Kieran, sick, really. Now, sure, he'll tell you that this was just some eating contest with some other soon-to-be morbidly obese contestants. But he'll say that it was to win a mountain bike, but in fact it was just because he loves free food. Now, it must have been true nirvana for Kieran when he realized that he could in fact combine these two great loves of his college years, could eat a 99-cent Wendy's hamburger in one meal and hold the Nintendo controller in the other. And I admit I've probably painted a fairly disturbing and mostly grotesque image of Kieran by this point. And for anyone who still has any wedding cake left to eat, I do apologize. But I focus on these stories because although the speech has been fairly long already, I probably would have had to spend all night if I was to talk about all the good things about Kieran. He's truly been an incredible friend over the years, and certainly one of the most genuine and caring and thoughtful people that I know. I consider myself truly fortunate to be able to call him a friend, but I'd say his warm character is no better exemplified than the love that he shows to his new bride, Kristen. And I've certainly never seen him happier than these past 2 years that he spent with her. So I would like to invite all of you to stand And please raise your glasses in a toast to the bride and groom. So to the new Mr. and Mrs. Kieran Murray, I wish you both the best of luck in life together, filled with health, happiness, and joy. Congratulations. And now the next speaker.